Hi, guys, and welcome to The Witch's Voice. I'm your Friday host, Lady Soul 1980, and this week we're talking about books that helped us out in the craft and still do today. So I'm going to start off with, since everybody's been doing Book of Shadows, the thing is, I don't technically have a Book of Shadows. I do and I don't. This is what happened. I bought this book, very pretty, very beautiful, from Barnes and Nobles many, many moons ago. As you can see, it's empty, and that's because it took me forever to even write anything in it in the first place. But I do have some stuff. I have how I don't think you can see that, but you can sort of see that's how like I arranged my altar and all that stuff. I have some chants and some other things here and there. Don't have much, but it's more or less the stuff that I've already solidified, that I'm sure that that's what I want to do and that's what I like and how I call the gods and whatnot. But then I have this, which is actually from my old job that I got it at a meeting that we had, and this is just a regular average little notebook. Got a bunch of pages, got a bunch of stuff written in it, and basically this is where I put all my testers, I guess you could say, like any spells that I want to test out. If I want to, it's more like a sloppy copy Book of Shadows, and that's basically like if I do it here and I test it out and I like it, then it goes into the actual Book of Shadows. And here's also where I just write down notes of things that I want to try to do, spells that I might want to try to cast, um, anything, any recipes that I'm working on, anything of that nature. This is basically the tester router. So those are my Book of Shadows. And then the books that I actually started off with, and when you see this book, you're going to see how old it is, and then you're going to be like, well, I wonder how old she is, because it's obviously Scott Cunningham's Wicca Guide for Solitary Practitioner. But if you notice the cover, it is the old cover. I mean, this is like the old cover, and I got it brand new. And it has a lot of wear and tear. If you notice, it's all like all this is all messed up. The cover here, this is completely come right off. The plastic shield thing that it normally comes with ripped right off after about a couple years, and I've had this for over 10 years. So I started off with this. I eventually got Living Wicca, which is also from Scott Cunningham, which is the continuation of that book. And both those books are kind of like where, when it comes to my belief and my how I basically started off, sort of like the building blocks of how I believe of my Wicca or my witchcraft or paganism, whatever you want to call it. This is basically the building blocks where I got it. And then I've got a little bit of everything. Well, not really of everything. I love herbs, and also, so then I have this one. Scott Cunningham's complete book of herbs, of incense, oils, and brews. And I actually do a lot of my incenses can actually come from here. The recipes, and then if I don't have an ingredient, I normally tweak it and add a little bit more, a little bit less. It's really like a guideline that I have for this. The great thing about this book, for me, if it's that you're really starting off and you're kind of, I still use this. This is like the book that I use on a regular basis, to be honest. Whenever I'm casting a spell or I'm doing some sort of magic, and I love this part of the book. Because if you want to be more original, you basically, I don't know if you can see it, but basically, it goes all the incenses or all the herbs by by the type that what you want to make. Basically, if you want to make something for money, it gives you all the herbs that give you money. You want for one for luck, for love, for lust, for dreams, for psychic awakenings, blah 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 blah. I mean, it goes into detail. Even if you want something for to celebrate your astrological sign. Since I'm a Sagittarius, so I use a lot of dragon's blood in my incense. I love dragon's blood. Oh, so good. I love it, love it, love it. Anyways, and he also has incenses that or herbs that go by the elements. So all the herbs that go well with water and so forth and so forth. So if you want to do an incense or some sort of herb related craft and you wanted to dedicate it to a particular element, he shows you how to do it here. And he also has recipes for the elements and the astrological sign. So you can make your own astrological sign for yourself. Herb incense. So I really recommend it for anybody who's really wanting to dabble in incense and oils and brews and whatnot. Very good. Let's see. Recently, well, not recently, like the last like 2 or 3 years, I started reading a lot of I can never pronounce that. Corlin tradition. I'm not a Corlin practitioner. I'm not part of their outer court or anything like that. But I do love the witches school books. The first degree, the third degree, here, and well, the first and the third here. The first, the second, and third. I think I did that in the wrong order, but they're actually really good. They have let me show you. If I can find the page, I will show you how this works. Okay, so basically, you have 13 chapters. No, 13. Excuse me. I think you have 12 chapters, one for each month of the year, and then you have after every. I think in the first and the second, not in the third though. I don't think the third does, but in the first and the second book, first and second degree, at the end of the book, you have basically questions. It's like an open book test, and you cannot see that. Holy crap! It does not focus whatsoever. But it's basically an open book test, and basically you look it up, and that's how you know if you've done your good job of studying, I suppose. But it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Each chapter has definitions for all the main subjects that they were talking about in the book. See, it has good diagrams. It goes into detail about a lot of different types of practices that I actually enjoy. Tarot reading, palm reading, astral projection. It goes into a lot. So all three books goes into several different levels of different things that you can dabble in and sort of like wet your toes in. I am not a Reiki practitioner. I plan on it. One of these days, eventually I will. But I do love Reiki. I have a fascination with Reiki. And one of my favorite Reiki books is this one right here, Essential Reiki, by an author that I do not remember her name. Diana Stanton. Stanton. You can see her name here. Oh, right there. That's her name. She is amazing. She is a practicing pagan. So her the way that she writes is very pagan friendly, in my opinion. And she shows you a lot of she goes into detail of not just of how you practice Reiki, but also of her journey in becoming a Reiki master and how she went through basically all the trials that she had to go through. And it lets you realize, how Reiki works in your life, not just like, hey, you do these little symbols and you put your hands here and voila, there's Reiki, yay. She goes into a lot of detail, but at the same time, she's very straightforward. She doesn't drag on in the story or in the explanation. Let's see what else I have. These two are also favorites, and that is, I'm a big fan of Norse mythology. I have a lot of goddesses and gods that I'm a patron, that I worship and whatnot, that I honor. But my first god and goddess was, and the ones that they're my main gods, are Freya and Freyr. And because of that, I ended up buying this book. a long time ago, many years ago. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years after I bought the Scott Cunningham book. As you can see again, it's like all like used up. I'm horrible with my books. What can I say? But yeah, you can tell that it's really old because if you notice, well, I don't think you can see from the lighting, but it's like very like the pages are like dyed. That's how old they are. But that's an awesome book. It's very simple, very to the point. If you want a broad mixing Norse mythology and Norse belief and mixing it with Wicca or witchcraft, that's if you want to become that's really good if you really want to be a witch or a witch or a Wiccan, and don't want to be a heretic, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, heretic or um, Odian. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Um, like if that's not what you want to do, then you can mix that one up and put it into your daily practice. It's actually very good for that. And then the other one, I also did a review on that one, and that is Constantine's Nocturnal Witchcraft. It's very wonderful. I love it to death. It goes into this is more advanced magic. I don't recommend it for anyone who is um, still in the baby stages, still learning. This is very for me. It's very advanced, but it's also very advanced, but only if you. How can I put it? It's very advanced, but it's hard to explain. But it's a very awesome book. I love it to death. As you can see, it's already like it's actually very young. It's only like maybe 3 years old, but it's had like I've already gone through it a couple times. It's very used as well. Um, but other than that, that's pretty much what I normally use or have on hand at all times. So yeah, and I have a couple tarot books, but it's just tarot books that come with my tarot. They weren't like I don't use all the time or anything. Other than that, that's all I got. Well, I hope that you guys liked my books, and please subscribe to the channel, to Witch's Voice, and have a nice day. Let it be, guys.